chips high, macking and we get fly, stacking our chips, gonna push all in, gonna push foreign, all in.
We have made it to Resorts World Catskills. This is the last tournament for September. The next one won't be until December, so we had to play. This is the Mega Stack at 6:15 in the evening, 125 buy-in. We got about 20 entrants so far with an hour left for registration. This is our first time playing tournament on the channel, so wish us some luck. Yeah, man, it's going down. Feeling good today. Got my lucky hat on. Okay, we just checked out the steakhouse, and last seating is at 9:30. They close at 10. So if we bust out, we're gonna go celebrate with a steak. You know, we're gonna have a steak or whatever. But hopefully, we're good in the tournament, and you know, we don't get a steak tonight. Steak tonight is if we lose. If we losing. All right, so that's a little personal challenge to myself. No steaks tonight, but if we happen to bust out, we'll be having steaks. We'll try the steakhouse for the first time. Looks pretty good in there. I'm really excited. Either way, we're gonna have a good time. I know this, but it is a re-entry tournament, so if I bust out, I can re-enter. I can buy back in. Okay, gentlemen, by the time this tournament kicks off, we have 87 pure entrants. Starting stack is 25K, and we begin at 100 blinds. We're playing with the big blind ante, so what that means is the big blind is going to pay the big blind and then the big blind again, so he's going to pay double tax. In this hand, we pick up King 10 offsuit on the big blind. The under the gun player is going to raise it to 600. We're going to go to the flop 3 ways. The flop comes 10 high, so we hit top pair. We check. The under the gun player leads out for 1400. Middle position player folds. I make the call, and we go heads up to a turn. The turn is the 6 of clubs. It goes check, check. We see a free card. The 8 of clubs comes on the river. I become the aggressor on this one, and I lead out for 2100. He makes the call. In hindsight, I should have bet bigger if I was going to push him off the hand. We open up King 10, and he shows us aces. In our first playable hand, we lose a quarter of our stack. If we're going to survive, we've got to step it up. The next interesting hand takes us all the way to level 3. We have 7-4 offsuit, and we go 3 ways to a flop. The flop comes 6 high. We actually hit middle pair. When he checks, we let out for 700. Player in the cutoff folds, and the small blind makes the call. The turn is the 8 of spades, and it goes check, check. The river brings the king of hearts. He leads out for 2000. I go into the tank, but ultimately make the call. He shows 2-5, flopping the straight, so we were behind the whole time, and he Hollywooded us well. I should have known something fishy was going on when he checked multiple streets and then led out on the river. A few hands later, we pick up black aces and the hijack. Let's see if we could turn this thing around. When it comes to us, we make it 1,000 to go. 3 people call, and we go 4 ways to a flop. I actually don't like the fact that so many people called, and I'm looking to be aggressive and bet on any flop. The board comes King, King X, and when the players check, I have to bet. I try the sizing of 1300, and the players fold, and we take it down. This is a much needed pot for my stack. Let's see if we can keep this going. Okay, gentlemen, in the next hand of note, we pick up Ace King suited in hearts under the gun +2 position. We call a raise to 1400. We go to the flop 5 ways. The flop comes 10-6-4. The small blind and pre-flop aggressor leads out for 1600. I make the call. We go to a turn, which goes check, check. The river is the 10 of hearts. He bets 1500, and this is where I have to make a move. All that money in the middle from pre-flop action, I raise it up to 7,000. He folds. We can't believe we get this one through. We take it down, and we are in there. I bet the small blind really wants to see my cards. Let me know in the comments about a time you felt you were bluffed, but you just really couldn't make the call.
What? Oh, no.
Okay, now we're at level 5. The blinds are 300, 600. We have red aces in the under the gun +2 position. I make it 1600 to go. The cutoff as well as the big blind come along to the flop. This is the second time when I have aces, the board pairs kings. A lesser man would lose his mind, but the action checks through. We see a free card. The turn is the 10 of hearts. The big blind bets 2,000. I make the call as well as the cutoff player. The river is the 7 of hearts, so the flush gets there. The big blind checks. I check behind him. The cutoff bets 5,000. The big blind folds, and when it gets back to me, I'm thinking of reshoving. I do have the flush blocker with the ace of hearts, so it only makes sense. But in the end, I fold as well. In the comments, fellas, let me know, did I just get bluffed myself? So it's a madhouse. We have about 103 entrants with the rebuys. I made it to the first break. Man, it's wild. Took it down with aces to come back a little bit. Then I got aces cracked because kings paired the board. So I'm surviving. I got a little over 21K, and I'm just doing my best, man. I'm having a lot of fun. It's intense. All right. See you in the next break, hopefully. The next hand of note comes at level 7. The blinds are getting pretty high, 500, 1,000. We pick up ace, queen of clubs on the big blind. Middle position player raises to 2,500. The hijack calls. I shove for 17K. My whole stack, let's go. The original raiser folds. The hijack calls for less. He has about 12,000. We go to a run out. He turns over pocket kings. The run out is actually clean. We lose this one. We're down to about 4.1K. But in tournaments, to survive, you gotta take shots and you gotta get lucky. We lose this one, but we're still in it. A couple hands later, we find ourselves with ace queen again. We're in level 8 this time. We are going for it once again. We rip in our 4,100 and hope for the best. We are called down by the middle position player with queen jack of diamonds. So we are ahead, and fortunately for us, we spike an ace on the flop, and we ultimately survive. We're starting to chip up, but we gotta keep it going. We are still severely short stacked. But in this next hand, we pick up king queen offsuit and a low jack, and we see a great opportunity. We make a raise to 3,300, and we're only called by the middle position player. We go to a flop heads up. We flop 2 pair, but we're gonna check behind him for deception, give him a chance to lead out. The turn is the 7 of hearts, and he bets 2,000. We don't take too long before we rip it all in, hoping for a crying call, but he folds, and we take down another pot. Let me know in the comments, was this too aggressive? Should I have bet more for value? I think with this pot we might have just under 20K, so we're still fighting. In this next one, we are still at level 8, 600, 1,200 blinds. We pick up snowmen in the small blind. This hand is important because there is a raise to 3,000 in front of us. There are multiple callers. We do not have enough chips to compete. So when it comes back to us, we actually rip it all in again, hoping for a fold. The dealer announces our bet is about 10-7, and we are nervous. Any player with an overcard can call us, catch, and bust us out of the tournament. We get it through, we take down all that dead money in the middle, and we're just happy to keep surviving. Made it to the second break. There's got to be like 40 players left in the tournament. You're only paying the top 13 spots. I got just under 20K left, but I'm severely short stacked. I think people got 120,000. It's crazy. Blinds are going to be 1,000, 2,000 when we resume. So it's really go time. I got to start shoving, taking down the blinds, building that stack, stacking out chips. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, we missed the steakhouse, but that's a good thing. As we resume from the break, I already found myself all in with a pair of aces on the flop. We are against a pair of jacks. We're going to double up, a full double up on this one. This pot right here is going to take me to about the 40K mark. Okay, the poker gods must be listening because they sent me pocket aces once again. We're in the small blind and we're going to raise it up to 6K. We're going to get called by basically the whole table. Just kidding. For a call, we go 5 ways to a flop. The board comes out king high and it's on me to act first. I lead out for 11,000 and then the player on my right, either the button or the cutoff, jams. Obviously, I'm going to make the call. He turns over king jack offsuit and we go to a run out. The player ends up still being in the game as he had 1,500 more than me. And we're just happy to stay in it and survive and keep hitting and winning and stacking our chips, kid. I'm really starting to feel good about my situation. And check this out. A few hands later, we pick up pocket kings. We raise it up to 7 pre-flop. We go heads up to the flop. It's on me to act first. I start fumbling with the chips, and he announces fold, and we take it down without even breaking a sweat. Okay, there are a few things to note by the time we reach this hand. We are at level 12, where the blinds are 1,500, 2,500. There are 27 players left, and we have King 9 offsuit in the cutoff. The flop has come 7 high, and we have an inside straight draw, and it checks through. The turn also checks through, and the river brings the 6 of clubs. The small blind is going to bet 5,000. Hitting our gut shot on the river gives us the confidence that we're probably ahead. When it gets to me, I raise it up to 15. All fold, I take it down. Fellas, I'm starting to feel real good about my chances. Things are rolling for us, and we pick up King Queen suited in the low jack. We make it 10,000 to go, and we are called by the under the gun player. We go to the flop heads up. He checks to me, and I bet my top pair. I want to take this pot down right away. I bet 11,000. He folds, and we take down yet another one. This is probably the highest chip amount I've had this tournament. I have well over 100,000 in chips, and I'm feeling super excited about my position. If I could redo any hand of the tournament, it would be this one. We wake up with pocket jacks in middle position and raise it up to 10K. I get called by the player on my immediate left. The button jams all in for 43K. I quickly make the decision to make the call. I have jacks. The player on my left folds, and we go heads up to a runout. The button shows ace queen, and it's a typical race. Unfortunately for us, he spikes an ace on the flop, and we're gonna lose this one. I was talking to the poker robot regarding ICM, and it might have been a better decision to let someone else call this all in and just fold and just nurse our chip stack. Let me know what you think in the comments. Did I make the right call? Okay, let me provide some context. At this point, it is level 15, the blinds are 3K, 6K, and I have about 24 total in my stack. At this point, I'm really just looking to steal the blinds. There's a lot of dead money in the middle, and I could really use the help. But what happens is the big blind actually asks for a count and eventually just calls me down. We are extremely nervous, but it is what it is. He turns over Jack 5, we have him dominated, and we go to a runout. The board runs out clean for us, and we're going to improve to about 50,000. But this game is intense. We're down to the last 2 tables, and everybody's vying for their positions. At this level, chip management is so crucial because the big blind ante just kills your stack if you're not prepared. Imagine paying 6,000 for the big blind and 6,000 for the ante, losing that hand, and then turn around being the small blind after that. I was just waiting for a good opportunity to push any 2 cards basically. I'm lucky to have a queen high at this point. Our buddy from the previous hand returns the favor with ace jack, 2 pairs against us, and actually busts us out.
So much for my lucky hat.
The worst possible situation happened. I missed the stake, and I go deep enough in the tournament where I missed the bubble too. So from 111 entrance down to 18, you saw that last hand. I had to push, and we just ran out of gas. But I had fun. It was a great event. A lot of people, a lot of action. So here's one thing I might do again in the future. Tournament. You're gonna see more tournaments now. All right, so this has been a long one. I'm exhausted. I gotta work in the morning. Gotta see my family. So I'm out of here from resorts, Monticello, Catskills, wherever I am. I'm in the mountains. Fuck it. Gotta go home. Peace. The support over the past couple of weeks has been amazing. I'm extremely appreciative of all the love. I thank you. I want to give a couple shout outs to just some of the people who have, showed their support and bought a coin, showed some love, sent some great comments. My good friend Daryl from Georgia, he's all the way in Georgia. He showed me great love and paid top premium dollar for his copy, and I appreciate the words, the kind words. Duran Jones, DFT, Joey Boats, Big Kev, Jesus, Fred, Big Lou, Vega, PJ. I'm going to see everybody. I'm going to continue to ship out these coins wherever you're at. Let me know. My Cash App for the channel, for the vlog, is $ stacking our chip. If you don't want to buy a coin, you just want to support, send the Cash App, you know? I appreciate the love. Now, the proceeds for all this are going towards new equipment. Prior to the pandemic, I had a private home game, and storing through the pandemic, I wasn't doing games when the pandemic first hit. I got some damage, so I no longer have a table. My chips are all messed up. So I want to do the home game again, a private game, and I want to get customized chips, stacking out chips, and the logo on a table, a nice table. So it'll be invitational. A private game for followers will be invited. You know, we'll meet at the casinos to make sure everybody is on the up and up and everything like that. You know, I'm a family man. I can't have any bogus activity. So it'll be regular supporters of the channel. People I get comfortable with will be invited to a private home game. And that's just what it is. I love interacting with people and things like that, but we got to be safe. All right. You know, getting down and supporting the channel, it's just something fun. I'm not running like a real cutthroat business. I'm just a recreational player. I'm not a professional. I play when I can. You know, I got a busy schedule. I'm a family man. I got a 9 to 5, you know, and I'm just having fun. So I also want to give a special shout out to Panda, my boy Pan, and also the Poco Robot. These guys have been part of the reasons why I keep this thing going. If I was a solo act, I don't think I have the time and the patience to keep doing it. You know, it's tough out there, but having a couple of cool, fun partners, going to the casino with, planning trips, it's just made it all the more worthwhile. So I've just been having fun planning something every other week or once a month. You know, it's just good to have a nice camaraderie out when we're playing in the casinos or even traveling to different home games. So thank you guys so much, and let's keep rolling. Let's continue this thing. I want to delve into getting live more and interacting with the folks. That's kind of the reason why we want to get to 1,000 subscribers, because YouTube opens up a couple more features like the community tab, you know, surveys, polls, and the ability to go live via YouTube directly. That's what I'm after, okay? I think that'll take this channel to the next level, but we need you to get there. If you haven't already, thumbs up the video and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. I really appreciate it, and we'll get to where we need to go a lot sooner with your help. Thank you and peace. See you in the next video.